During the Hollywood Golden Age, racial discrimination and stereotyping were pervasive in the film industry. Many actors of color, particularly those with non-European heritage, encountered limited opportunities and were often subjected to racial biases and typecasting. To overcome these challenges and secure more prominent roles, some actors felt pressured to modify their appearances to align with the prevailing Eurocentric beauty standards, presenting themselves as white in both films and their personal lives as a means of survival. Here are 5 notable actors who skillfully navigated these pervasive stereotypes. Number 1. Fredi Washington. With her fair complexion, green eyes, and flowing hair, actress Fredi Washington embodied all the attributes necessary to pass as white. In the 1934 film Imitation of Life, Washington portrayed a light-skinned black woman who, in an effort to cross the color line, pretends to be white while denying her black mother. In reality, Washington steadfastly refused to disown her heritage and actively advocated for the representation of black individuals in the entertainment industry. Although she was married for a period to black trombonist Lawrence Brown, the only documented instance when Washington reportedly passed for white was to purchase snacks from establishments that refused service to her husband and his bandmates due to their skin color. Number 2. Carol Channing. When Broadway sensation Carol Channing turned 16, her mother shared a secret with her. Channing's paternal grandmother was black. Renowned for her advocacy for gay rights, Channing didn't disclose her African-American ancestry to the public until 2002, at the age of 81, when she released her memoir, Just Lucky, I Guess. Channing expressed that she never felt ashamed of her black roots. On the contrary, she believed that her African-American ancestry contributed to her skills as a performer, drawing on the prevalent stereotype that blacks are naturally gifted at singing and dancing. Reflecting on this, Channing recalled that she thought she had the greatest genes in showbiz. Her career flourished as she received acclaim for her performances in iconic productions such as Hello, Dolly and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, alongside Marilyn Monroe. Number 3. John Gavin. John Gavin was born John Anthony Golanor Pablos in Los Angeles, boasting a heritage that intertwined Irish and Mexican roots with fluency in Spanish. In contrast to Anthony Quinn, who, despite being half Mexican, portrayed characters of diverse ethnic backgrounds, Gavin consistently inhabited roles of Caucasian characters during his Hollywood career. The distinguished leading man was renowned for his performances in the 1960 films Psycho and Spartacus, as well as the 1959 production Imitation of Life, a remake of the 1934 version featuring Fredi Washington. While the latter film explored the challenges faced by a young mixed-race woman passing for white, Gavin's own mixed-race background was not acknowledged in this or other films despite his dark hair and swarthy skin. However, in 1981, Gavin's heritage took center stage when President Ronald Reagan, himself a former actor, appointed him as the U.S. ambassador to Mexico. Gavin served in this diplomatic role until 1986. Number 4. Merle Oberon. Merle Oberon received an Oscar nomination for her performance in 1935's The Dark Angel and gained further acclaim for her portrayal of Kathy in 1939's Wuthering Heights. However, off-screen, Oberon harbored fears that her secrets would be exposed. Throughout her life, she maintained the narrative that she was born in Tasmania, Australia, asserting that her birth records were lost in a fire. In reality, she was born in Mumbai, India, to an Indian mother and an Anglo father. Her real mother, just 15 years old when Oberon was born, entrusted her care to Oberon's grandmother, who raised her as her own. This unconventional upbringing led Oberon to believe that her mother was her sister and her grandmother her mother. Upon relocating to Hollywood and facing the imperative to secure her future there, Oberon, instead of disowning her mother, presented her as a servant. Reports suggest that Oberon engaged in practices such as skin bleaching to conform to racial expectations and consistently refused to appear on camera without makeup, a practice now understood as an attempt to conceal her darker complexion. As the years passed, maintaining this facade became increasingly challenging. In 1965, Oberon cancelled public appearances and curtailed a trip to Australia due to the curiosity of local journalists about her background. Reports indicated she was distraught during her final visit to Tasmania in 1978 as questions surrounding her identity persisted, ultimately compelling her to admit she wasn't born there. Nevertheless, Oberon did not confess to her Indian heritage. She passed away the following year from a stroke. It wasn't until 1983 that her true ancestry came to light in a biography, revealing her birth records, letters, and photographs from her Indian relatives. Finally, number 5, Raquel Welch, born Jo Raquel Tejada to a Bolivian father and an Anglo mother. Welch ascended to fame as an actress and sex symbol in the 1960s and 1970s, garnering acclaim for her performances in various films. Despite her diverse heritage, she grew up in a household where her Latin ancestry was overlooked. In her 2010 memoir, Beyond the Cleavage, she shared the sense of feeling as if there was something wrong with being from Bolivia. Upon entering Hollywood, film executives reportedly encouraged her to lighten her skin and hair, prompting Welch to grapple with an identity crisis exacerbated by a lack of Latin friends or associates. Seeking to reconnect with her roots, she visited Bolivia in 2005, striving for a deeper understanding of her heritage. In her later years, Welch embraced her Latin background by portraying Latino characters in various film and TV roles, including Gregory Nava's series American Family. In the closing chapters of the Golden Age of Hollywood, the concept of white passing experienced a significant shift as Hollywood began to recognize the importance of authentic storytelling and the need for diverse voices in the industry.